probably later in the day for most of you. But I had a rough night, so here we are. Welcome back to Bedhead and Breakthroughs. Come for the bedhead, stay for the breakthroughs. I'm Deb. I teach Soul Magic to unicorns who feel stuck in transition, who are going through kind of the shit in life and making it through the hard stuff of self-discovery and growth. And I'm all about leading you back to radical self-love and immense creation power. So I've been fielding some questions recently, and I thought that's where we would go in our bedhead and breakthroughs for the next little bit. So the first question I'm going to start off with the top is, what do you do? I got this. It was funny. I actually got this from a friend recently. They're like, what do you actually do? Because I talk about soul magic, I talk about personal development, I talk about all these things. But what do I really do? So, in its most simple form, what I would say is that I read aura. Okay. That is the simplest I can make it as I read aura, which is an energy system connected to both your physical and spiritual bodies that holds a lot of information about where you've been, where you are now, where are you going next, and keys or I don't know, I call it your soul DNA, like your coding for what makes you most empowered, what drives you, what motivates you, what will help you stand. And this is why I talk about immense creation power, what will help you stand in that most immense creation power. That's what I do. Simple form. Now let's take that and back that up a step. And this is going to be a little meandery because I'm just here answering the question. um, Coming back from that, if I take a bigger picture to that, it's actually more than just your aura. I'm actually reading what I call or consider your soul. So I'm looking at the bigger picture. And this is why sometimes you'll hear me refer to myself as a soul mapper, because beyond just this energy system of your aura, beyond your chakras, beyond any of those like primary rhythm or meridians or any of those other energy systems connected to your body, I'm also looking at your connection to yourself, your intuitive gifts. I'm looking at where your power is being held. Part of my intuitive gifts is being able to feel wounds and trauma along your timeline, to be able to zero in on the things that are holding you back. I was trying to explain this to one friend. What I see and feel when I interact with people in terms of where their power is being held is what it feels like. If you think of Jurassic Park, where in the very original Jurassic Park, where he pulls up the amber and there's that mosquito in that piece of amber that's been encased in there, and there's all this information and data in there that's been held for thousands of years. That's what it feels like with your personal power, that there are situations that happened along your personal human timeline that your power got encased. It got held in that space, in that time, and in that energy. And I can feel those spaces, and I can take you to those spaces and help you release what is encased inside of that energy or that spot in your timeline. So I'm actually freeing your personal power, or let me rephrase that. I'm helping you to free your personal power, because I'm not an intuitive that likes to go in there and mess with all of your mojo. I'm an intuitive that likes to take you in there and help you to do the healing, because that is more lasting and more powerful than if I just step in and I'm like, let's move this and let's move this and let's move that. That doesn't really help anything. We need to get you to do the healing work. So I take you back into those times and release kind of that, what I would call that firefly of power encased in the amber or encased in that moment, and we free that. I also feel your connection to divinity, your connection to other people, your connection to your sacred creation. So I can tell, like in this season, how much of the universe is kind of set aside for you to create in this moment, and where you're playing and what we can do to help free you to make the difference. So when I step into your world, what I'm really doing is looking at all the pieces that make up your universe, all the stars that are in your sky. And I'm identifying, or helping you identify, where am I at right now? How much of that sky I can see, and how much or what we can do so I can see and receive more of that. So I can receive and see, or see and receive more of that. Because what I know is that when I interact with you, holy shit, puppies, like there is so much that is already set aside for you. So much power, so much love, so much grace, so much understand. Like there's just so much here for you, ready and willing to support you. But because of what you and I have learned through our cultural upbringings, we put a stop on it. We put these barriers between us and what we can accomplish, between us and who we are, between us and radical self love. And let me be super clear when I'm talking about what I do. Yes, I can see creation. Yes, I can see the things that you can accomplish in this life. Yes, I can see not just your possibilities, but your inevitabilities. But at the end of the day, I need you to know that what you create outside of you isn't as important to me as what you do inside of you. Because that stuff outside of you, it's just going to happen. If you show up in the world and you be you and you love you and you embrace you and you do your magic, this out here is going to take care of itself. But so many of us, so many powerful creators are so fucking stuck in the how do I get this outside of me that you're missing the most powerful thing, which is all this information and magic that's already inside of you. We're ignoring this. Sorry, I'm totally on my soapbox right now, but we're ignoring this in order to try and create this. And we have it backwards. I look at both your inner sacred creation journey, your outer sacred creation journey. But what I know based on years of working with this in people is that if we will focus on that inner journey, this outer journey, it's going to happen and it's going to be miraculous and it's going to be powerful and it is going to be so fucking aligned that you are just like, oh my gosh, I love my life. I love what I'm doing. And does that mean we're not going to hit setbacks or roadblocks? No, because as creatures involved in growth, we're always going to be running into new places we haven't been before, which means mental gremlins are going to find a way to get in our head and mess with our mind. And we're going to have to be working through this. But the power is understanding self. That's why I talk about coming back to radical self-love, not the love that's like, oh, I love me, I believe in me, but the love that's like, I love me even when I'm failing. I love me even when I fucked that up. I love me even when I got it wrong, even when I made a mistake, even when I fell down, even in the moments where I just want to give up and not do anything else. I love me wholly, completely, unconditionally for all the things I've accomplished and for all the things that I may never accomplish. For all the things that I've healed and for all the things that I may never heal. I love me. I love me. And that comes back to, for me, the starting place is in the aura because there's a piece of your aura, and I'll get into that tomorrow. But there's a piece of your aura that came with you on this planet. It stays with you this entire existence and it journeys with you and wherever you're going next. And I believe with every fiber of my being that this part of your aura, that you chose it in some space and time. You chose it because you said, this is what will serve me in everything I want to do in creation from now until the infinities beyond. This is me. This resonates with me. This is what I desire. And you chose it and you brought it with you. And that piece right there, you learn that, you understand that, you embrace that, and it unlocks everything. It is so, so powerful in both loving you and creating outside of you. So if you want to know what I do, I do magic. I do magic. That's what my clients share with me at the end of what they do. They're like, I don't know how you do what you do. I don't even know what you do most of the time, but it is magic. But if I had to give it a label, I read your aura, I read your soul map, and I help you step into those places to reclaim the powers and the truths that have been locked in situations that have been stolen from you, whether you knew it or not. That power was robbed from you and it was encased in that amber or that granite or that whatever it is. And I'm here about transformation. Let's free your power. Let's call it back to you. Let's solidify what you know is true about you and grow from there so that anything that you desire, it's yours. You only have to open up and receive it. So there it is. That's what I do. I think if I were to try to give it words, and I'll dive deeper into that. I have some more questions, like getting deeper into the R, and I'll continue to answer those. But if you have questions on any of these things that I'm talking about, okay? Please ask them, drop them in the comments wherever you at, because this is going on Facebook page, my Facebook feed, my Instagram feed, my YouTube feed, wherever you are, please ask your questions. If there's something you don't understand, I would love to be able to come back and answer those for you. And all the questions that I have right here are because someone asked me the question. They're like, "Please help me understand." And so I'm going to walk you through that understanding. We're going to do that together. And so when I connecting this back into everything that I talk about, when I talk about relationships, when I talk about toxicity, when I talk about cultural rules, all of this is being done from that perspective of being able to read the soul maps of the people that I serve and going, here is a hangup. Here is something that is keeping them from loving themselves. Let's get it out of the way. Here is something that is stopping your progression and your expansion. Let's get it out of the way. Here is something where you were stumbling over or you were being anchored by that is keeping you not just from the inner creation, but that external creation that so many are concerned with. Let's free you. Let's break the chain. So everything I share with you, everything I talk about with you is from that perspective of your soul map and going, how can I help them be more free? That's it. How can I help them be more free? Because if you feel free to be yourself, if you feel free to own and share your magic, damn, then that magic moves throughout the world. And whether you know it or not, you are impacting other people. You are making their life bigger, better, bolder because they look at you and they go, oh, because you did this, it means I can do this. Because she or he is being free in their expression, I can be free in my expression. Because they're doing magic, I can do magic. Okay. Like that's a world that I want to live in, where every single one of us has the capacity and the safety to be true to our most authentic self and to feel free and safe to do so. Can you imagine that world? Oh my gosh, it's delicious. I've lived in that world. I live in those spaces. And then I have to come back to this one and go, okay, I'm here. I'm here. What can we do different? How can we change things? So that's what I do. That's what I do. If you want to know more and you're like, oh my gosh, oh, this is what I need in my life, please DM me. We can talk about it. Otherwise, stay with me. Stay with me in Bedheads and Breakthroughs, and we'll continue to have conversations around auras and souls and divine connections and relationships, all of those things, especially relationship with self. So, mwah, I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for those who were able to be with me today. I'll be coming back to check those comments. I appreciate you. Anyway, I adore you with all of my heartbeats. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you sometime tomorrow morning, either live or on replay. Catch me when you can. Mwah. And we'll see you next time. Okay, bye.